Hey, what's going on, guys? So I pretty much promised myself that if stuff didn't come in today, I was gonna go to locals, but a couple of things did come in. Not really the stuff that I wanted, like my Nibiru or the Dark Ruler No More. But anyways, I decided to go ahead and go to locals because I just didn't honestly have anything better to do. So I went to play, and I ended up going 2-2, which really sucked. Tuesday is always a free locals, like where I live. It's almost everybody goes that day because it's free. Like you end up getting from like 20 to 30 players most of the time. Like there'll be times where I guess people just feel like playing, and it ends up being like a whole freaking night there, because it starts like at 6:30, and it really sucks when it starts late because a lot of guys are like, oh, I'm on the way, please don't start without me, and stuff like that. And that kind of like it always happens at this locals, but it's still kind of cool because like the more people that show up, the more packs you get. I think I got like 14th place. Honestly, I honestly don't remember because I was like so butthurt that I lost the last round. The first round I played against somebody playing a rogue, fucking a scrub deck, pretty much. Somebody that just barely got into the game, and I didn't want to be mean and like beat them down, but I did, because this deck's just so easy to win against, especially against like people who don't know how to play. Then round 2, I played against Thunder Dragon, Danger. That seems to be really popular by locals because like so many people have access to the Dangers now because they like got reprinted or whatever. But I still think that deck's not that great. I ended up beating it. Then I lost in round 3 to a Pendulum Magician player who just kept opening up the craziest hands you could ever see. Then round 4, I lost to Sky Strikers, and I'm not gonna say anymore because I hate Sky Strikers, and that's why I lost. So I'm just gonna get into the deck profile. It's Salamangreat. It's nothing like too crazy, but I just really like this deck because it's just like consistent as hell, and it's not that it's fun or anything, but it's just like I know how to play this deck, so I don't really feel like picking anything else up right now, even though I'm kind of trying to build like sub-tiers right now. 3 Foxy because it's like the best one, kind of right now. I got the prismatic rares on the way or whatever because like those are ugly. The 3 Spinny because you need to play 3 Spinny because Gazelle got limited. The 2 Jaguar. I've been noticing this a lot more like on the competitive playlist, and I started playing it myself, and it's just like Jaguar is like the best card in the deck, honestly. Like it's just so dumb. It enables you to do so many of your plays. It's the card you honestly want to bring out every single time with Mirage Stalio. And yeah, then the 1 Falco and the 1 Gazelle. It sucks that Gazelle went to 1, but still it's still good when you draw it, and I saw it 2 times today on my opening hand, which is really good. Falco, it's like whatever. The 3 Flame Buffalo. This card's stupid. Like you draw so many cards because of it. It's so good. I really like it. Like the fact that Balinks is just a generic link monster that just requires a Cyberse monster makes this card so good, because like you search your field spell, then you draw 2 cards. It's like a +2 right there. Lady Debug, the Reclusia, and the Secretary. Honestly, I didn't see these too many today, or too many times today, I'm sorry, but I still would play this ratio because I just think it's decent enough, because like they both have their benefits. Like this card can pop back rows, it can pop like back row monsters, whatever the hell you want to call them. This card's good because it's level 3, you can special summon it whenever you want, pretty much, and it's also a Cyberse monster, so if you kind of like break with like Buffalo and this card, you can ditch it with Buffalo, even though sometimes you don't really want to. Mirage Stalio is still generic, so these cards are pretty good. That's pretty much it for the real monsters. For like the hand traps, I played 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, and 2 Ghost Ogre, because I think this ratio is pretty much like the best ratio you can play if you're not gonna play Infinite Impermanence, because Impermanence is just so much better than like Ghost Ogre, I would say, because Ghost Ogre is good against like the guard dragons and stuff like that, but Impermanence is just good against almost everything pretty much. And if you can afford them, just play them, because it's just so much better. But since I'm a fucking cheap fuck, this is what I'm playing. And that's it for the monsters. For the spells, speaking of cheap fucks, I'm playing 3 Cyanic Backdoor. So many people had to read this today. It was pretty funny. Pretty much what this card does is you target a Cyanic monster and then you banish it. Then you can add 1 monster that has a lower attack than the monster that you banished. And then you bring back your monster, I think, at the next standby phase. Honestly, this card's like my cheap Cyanic mining, because I'm not going to pay $35 for a card that's just honestly like pretty like whatever. But the way this card works, from what I've been told, honestly, is like you have your Mirage Stallion, right? And it has like sorry, I gotta fucking look for one. It has a Spinny as a material, let's say, and you use Spinny and some other monster to, and then you keep the Spinny underneath. You use Cyanic Backdoor, you banish your Mirage Stallion, so it'll get it out of the extra monster zone. This card will go to grave, and the way that it works, you can still use your Gazelle, because you'll search your Gazelle. The monster underneath Stallion will go to the grave. Then you can special summon your Gazelle and just go on from there, because Gazelle is honestly like stupid broken. That's why it's at 1. But that's how I've been told it works. Honestly, I haven't tried it like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or anything like that, but nobody's ever called me out on it. So if I'm wrong, let me know. Then 3 Call by the Grave. I know these are super ugly. They're common. I got rid of my super ones when I needed some money, because they were pretty expensive. They were like $8. Some dude from work offered me $20, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I still got my common ones. 2 Pot of Desires. This card's super good right now, especially in this deck, because like you honestly don't really care if you banish like 1 of anything, but if you can draw a couple of hand traps with this, it's just so good. 2 Twin Twisters. This card sucked all day. I hated it so much. It didn't do anything. I'm playing 42 cards. I think I might just cut it and make it 40 cards and just cut these out. But I was kind of scared of Mystic Mine, because the last time I went to this locals, like everybody was playing Mystic Mine, and I just hate that card so much I didn't want to lose to it. Then the 1 of Salamangreat cards, the 1 Circle, the 1, what is it called, Will, and the 1 Sanctuary. These cards are all like kind of win conditions, I guess you could say. This card you can search it whenever you want it, pretty much, because Balinks is just so accessible. This card's just really good. I wish it was still at 3, but well, whatever. And the Will is just broken. Like there was 1 game I was losing. I top decked this. I played out what I had from my hand, was able to bring a monster back, and it just brought me back into the game. Just so good. And for the last spell, I was playing Foolish. Honestly, didn't see it enough to say that it was bad or good, but from what I've seen, it's pretty decent. Like, I don't know, this deck is 42 cards, so I don't know if I want to cut it or if I want to keep it, but for right now, it's pretty decent. And then for the last cards, 2 of each. I know people are going to be like, oh, you're only supposed to play 1 because you can see them whenever you want. That's not true. Honestly, don't remember which player it was, but I saw a top deck profile say that if you can open up 1 of these in your hand, that means you don't have to search that means you can search the other one. And having these 2 in your back row in your opening play is just broken. And it's just so true, like, because with your Sunlight Wolf, you can pop 2 cards, and then with your Roar, you can negate any card you want. And this card is pretty much just like your best card, even though it sucks against that the meteorite card, because the meteorite card is real against this deck. Because you just have to do so much special summoning just to end up with like 2 monsters, which sucks. Because the way this deck works, like you reincarnate Link summon or whatever you call it, and that counts as a Link. That counts as a summon. So like if you do too much of it, you'll get punished for it. Especially if your opponent's playing the meteorite card, the Nibiru, and it kind of sucks because it just kills these 2 cards. Because these 2 cards, besides kind of this one, because you can still kind of discard a card from your hand, but you don't really want to do that. But like they really need a Link monster in the field to be able to work, and if they can meteorite you, that just sucks. But most of the time, you're gonna play seconds because they're just gonna make you go second. Against certain decks, it's gonna be, you know, you just gotta play around it. I guess you can say is like limit your summons as much as you can. Like even if you can't get to your like super negates, as long as you can get to like either one of these 2 cards plus your like Baylings, you'll be in a decent position. For the extra deck, 3 Baylings, obviously, because the card's just dumb. 3 Sunlight Wolf, because it's alright. 2 Heat Leo. Honestly, like, as much as I hate to say this, I think this card's not that great. Because I honestly have never ever won a game playing this card. And I don't know if it's just because they play around it, or if I'm just oblivious to the card. But like really, I don't know. I don't want to say that I'm going to cut it when like the new one comes out, like the Link 4. But it's not that great. The 2 Mirage Stalio. I was kind of afraid of that stupid rocket monster, the one that lets you look at your opponent's extra deck and like banish a card out. So that's why I played 2 of these. Because this card's just so important to like your combos, and it's just so good. Like this card's like pretty much like the heart and soul of the deck, I guess you could say. Even though it's not as easy as it once was to make, because, you know, Gazelle's at 1. Then I played Nightmare Phoenix because it's fire and you can still do your plays. The 1 Hita because everybody's playing like Ash Blossom, stuff like that, and it lets you get into your plays. And I was playing the 1 Borload. I'm not sure if it's going to become Borosword, because I have a Borosword coming on the way. I got a bunch of cards coming on the way. Like this deck might see a lot of changes because a lot of the cards that came out in the Mega Teams are just so good. Then the 1 Baguska and the 1 Abyss Dweller. Didn't make them all day, but I just think they're just too good. Like Baguska helps you so much against like random matchups where like Thunder Dragons and stuff like that, where you can't out like a Colossus, and you just throw him out there and he'll give you a couple of turns to draw into your outs. And Abyss Dweller is just good against like every deck right now, especially like against stupid Orcust, because I hate Orcust. And a lot of people at my locals play Orcust. The side deck is honestly trash. Like, I was missing my Nibirus. I was missing my Dark Ruler No More. But honestly, it played pretty decently. Like, Lancia is good against Orcust and Thunder Dragon, even though I didn't draw it versus those matchups. This card's just too good not to play right now. The 2 Pankertrops, because when they make you go second, when they're playing like a go first deck, this card's just really good against back row. It's good against, you know, just special summoning a big monster. It's good against Altergeist. 2 Forbidden Chalice. I didn't get to play today. These are probably going to turn into the Dark Ruler No More, honestly, because it's just so much better than Forbidden Chalice. Like, this card's pretty much dead right now, because Dark Ruler No More just does so much more than this card does. The third Twin Twisters, it's kind of like my thing right now. Like, I really hate Twin Twisters in the main deck. I saw a lot of people are playing like Galaxy Cyclones. Well, not like Galaxy Cyclones, Cosmic Cyclones, I'm sorry. Cosmic Cyclones, and like even MST is seeing some play in the main deck, but mostly in Sky Strikers because you can pop your own field spell. But I just think this card's not as good as it once was, because nobody's really playing traps besides like the really trap heavy decks like Altergeist or like Guru Control, and those don't really see a lot of play at my locals because people just like playing like OTK type decks. Like, it really sucks. The 3 rivalry, honestly, I think this is gonna become like the Nibiru cards, because everybody always wants me to go second, because they don't want me to open up my counter spell and or my counter trap and like all this stuff, because they know how hard it is to play against that. Then the 3 anti-spell, which is like the MVP of the side deck, and the 1 Imperial Order. Imperial Order is just broken, like no explanation needed. Like, I really like this deck a lot. Like, it has a lot of, it's not any like any combo type deck or anything like that, but it just has a lot of cool plays. I'm really comfortable playing it. Like, I know the deck pretty much inside and out. I know what to do in what situation. And if I can draw like a pretty decent hand most of the time, then I can win. But if not, then it's really hard to play against, like, well, not really anymore, because like the meteorite card just helps out so much. Like like everybody's saying like, oh, that card's not that great. Oh, everybody's just overhyping it. Honestly, I think it's just crazy like how good it is. I've been playtesting like on Dueling Book and stuff like that, and it just won me a bunch of games. I kind of want to play Nightmare Service in the main deck too, though, because it's just so, like, it's the way to get rid of the token. And even I have the room, because like Baguska or Abyss Dueler, I can cut either one of them because they're not like that great right now. But yeah, like I said before, I got a bunch of cards coming in the mail, and I don't know what I'm gonna play for like the rest of the format, because I don't even know when the balance comes out, because I'm like so in tune like with making a deck that kind of works. Because I have a couple of friends at locals, like they're trash talkers and stuff, so I kind of wanted to top today just to shut them up, because they still hate on me for playing this deck. It's just so boring, it's so generic. But I just like this deck a lot because I'm comfortable with it. I wish I could play like ABC or something like that, but it's just not as good as it once was, and I hate to admit it, and kind of sucks. But at the same time, like, you got to move on, you got to adapt, you got to get, you know, pick up different decks here and there, just because you know that Konami at any time could just hit your deck at any given moment, like when the balance comes out. Like, a lot of people didn't expect like Thunder Dragons to be hit so harshly, or like stuff like that, you know. But yeah, it's the reason why we play this game, I guess. And I'm just rambling now. I see my video camera's at like 18 minutes, and if you watch the whole video, you're the best. You're freaking awesome. I don't know what video I'm gonna have coming up next. I really want to do like some pack opening type stuff, but I just bought so many cards that I'm not even looking really for anything in like any of the mega tins. So I just bought so many cards. Like, I spent like over $50, which is like way over my budget most of the time, because honestly I go to play every once in a while, and I know $50 is not a lot of money to some people, but to myself, that I'm really cheap, especially when it comes to like card games, stuff like this, like hobbies, I guess you could call it. I just don't want to spend that much money on this, because I can only play like every once in a while. Like, I'm not going out there every Saturday to go play local, because I work every Saturday. I'm not going to regionals or anything crazy like that, but it's just really cool. Like, I just really like this last Megatins a lot. Like, a bunch of the cards that I just really liked the idea, like a bunch of the cards that I really liked, like the Crusadias and stuff like that, got rarity upgrades. And even though like some stuff was expensive, like you can get a Boros sword for like less than $15. Like, if you really can, you might as well just spend the money, because you kind of need those cards to play at the moment. Like, I never had a Boros sword. I'm gonna have one pretty soon. It's gonna be pretty crazy, because I can just play so many decks now because I have a Boros sword. And I'm rambling now, and I'm sorry. I said this like 2 minutes ago. Why am I doing it again? Till next time, guys. It's your boy Ivan. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.